bring us, take us to meetings, listen to us. Many times in the past 2 years, I would go into a meeting, I would say a few things, and I would completely change things around in a conference. When I hear from someone, a 50-year-old, about an idea, I would tell him, no, perhaps this would be better, because I know how the youth think and how the youth would get this idea or perceive this idea. So it's not costly, it's not difficult to do. Bring us, tell us, we're going to host you in 2 weeks in a meeting. We just want your ideas. So just listen and apply.
Thank you so much for your perspective.
Do you need us all? Do you need us guys?
I spotted her phone and almost mine.
Very hard to follow this. Very hard to follow this group of inspiring leaders, truly. So I'm not sure what we will say in the closing because of what you've said so eloquently. But so I leave it to my co-chair, Mohammed.
Me and Pia, the first time working together like this, and we have indeed decided to go into the to change career, to go into doing something dually with media. For me, what I've heard really summarizes. I didn't see much difference from the 6 or 7 youth here, but what I have heard the same pattern that we've been dealing with in different words. I heard participation, voice, identity, and avoiding stigma. And I heard basically inclusion. And I think the young person, شو اسمها؟ جيفارا. حلو الاسم كمان. جيفارا said it all in her Arabic slogan, which I'm going to give you the copyright for it. She said in Arabic, خلونا معكم. خلونا معكم is keep us with you. But it's a very nice slogan here. There's very nice title. And I think the same thing we're saying about ECD, the same thing we're saying about the young children, the same thing we're saying about early childhood is the inclusion and the aspects of really inclusive and integrated approach to work with families, with the children. So this خلونا معكم is really part. And to be inclusive, for me, you need the dialogue. You cannot be inclusive without being aware of that. We will not. We will not summarize what happened yesterday and today. It's too much for both of us to, and I think you have heard too much of wisdom from us. And as we promised you in the morning, I promised you in the morning, we'd like to give about 10 minutes, because we have about 15 minutes for to conclude by 12:35, if I may. 10 minutes for you to say less than 30-second sentence, and we have two gentlemen or one person from the morning. I remember you wanted to say something, as well as our colleague from Tunisia. From Tunis كنت بدك تحكي كلمة كمان. 30
from Tunisia, you wanted to say something also.
With two questions. You can select one of them. Looking at yesterday and today through this quick journey, maybe I think I've written it in a way that's think about one thing that you would like to appreciate about our time being together here. Could be content, lessons, realization, and insight. It could be process-wise. It's up to you. So that's one thing. Or, not the two of them, or think about one thing that you're still concerned about. One thing that you're still struggling with, concerned, struggling. So one thing to appreciate, you're taking with you an insight, or something that you still concerned with and still you're occupied with it despite the 24 hours conversation that we have here. And I'll do the 10 minutes. Can you please help us to make the 10 minutes? And then we will do our thanking for everybody. Okay?
Great.
Yes, please. 30 seconds, please.
Mark Elliott from the World Forum Foundation, and I just reminded of the power of focusing on what's working in the instances where people are at their best in resilience. You know, there's so much in the political spectrum right now and in the media that's driven by fear and the scope of the problems, and hearing the messages of hope and of where it's really working. I think all of us in whatever sphere we're in can do a lot better of putting forward the instances, the examples of what is really working amidst, not diminishing the scope or the seriousness of the issues. I think sharing that, but in the sense of that, making sure that we're also sharing what's working and having that be more of the line of our thinking.
Thank you. تفضل.
Thank you. Thank you. Ramses ECD from UNICEF Tunisia. I come from Tunisia especially to participate in this meeting because as UNICEF we are interested to share with other specialists, ECD specialists, some subject that we work about. Yesterday, I enlarged my knowledge about the effect of violence on young children, especially in emergency situation. The second thing, I believe that making peace start from early childhood, and many speakers confirm this idea. I suggest that we start thinking about international network who aggregate ECD actors to develop an universal document to integrate in ECD curricula, life skills and competency about tolerance and invest valor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, I'm leaving this conference with lots of great impressions, but with one question which continues to be unanswered. The way the world is managed and governed is brain incompatible, and although we have so much quantitative research results which backs structural adaptations, we are just not being heard, probably for good reasons, and maybe other people don't want to hear it, but we still haven't found an answer. We have really good micro approaches, but as long as the macro structures are walking to another direction, we will probably not really have a chance to make a big change. So that's the answer. That's my question, and I'm still waiting for an answer.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Well, thank you. I think it's been an amazing conference full of knowledge and wisdom, and I think we've all learned from that. I think what I personally took out of this. And I think we all struggle with what do we take out of these conferences professionally and what does it mean to us personally. And personally, I left my own country at a point of tremendous frustration with the political situation. And I think I leave here saying to myself, I need to be promoting interpolitical dialogue so that I understand people who, before I came here, I really wasn't feeling like I wanted to understand. And I think that's all we can do is try to question ourselves and reach out to across the divide to people that we disagree with. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, this is Caitlin Hepworth from the Bernard Van Leer Foundation. I just wanted to say that this has been a wonderful event, and a special thank you to those who are working in the field and also the Syrian people that came here to share their perspective. I'm going to echo a few points and try to tie them all together quickly. I especially liked the focus on giving more emphasis on parents and the care they give to the children, but also understanding that they need special help as caregivers themselves. And another point that Steve Lai brought up this morning was about integrating the Syrian people into the society in a productive way. And so a question that I have coming out of this workshop was one that Yasmin of the Mother Child Education Foundation in Turkey brought up, is how we can use Syrian people that have those special skills within the programs, and not just volunteers, but also providing them access to professionalization and helping their communities. So just an issue that I would love to hear more about.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please, here.
Thanks so much. Yeah? Okay. Thanks so much. This has just been a really, I think like Joan, I left the U.S. with this sort of sense that our country is about to blow, and I think being here in the company of so many who've lived through the blowing up, there are just so many lessons to learn. And so I'm left with two metaphors that come from different cultures. The first is the Chinese symbol for conflict is made up of two parts, and one is danger and the other is opportunity. And I often think that which is the one that wins, and the one that wins is of course the one we invest in. And that reminds me of the Native American story of an old man who's talking about the two wolves that exists in every person's head, and the one wolf is mean and aggressive and conflictual, and the other wolf is gentle and kind. I'm thinking of Sesame Street. And the young boy says to his grandfather, well, which wolf wins? And he says, it's the one that you feed. And then that brings me to the point of our investments, what this conference is all about. And my continual frustration, having worked for the US government for 6 years, is that not a single US government dollar is going to investing in young children, holistic ECD. We have zero leadership. We have an ambassador for malaria, mosquitoes. We have no ambassador for children. What are we feeding? And we've got to turn that around.
Thank you. There is the first one here, and then Ghassan. Constanza from Colombia.
Bueno, yo tengo tres.
I have three interventions, three different interventions. First, the first one is a reflection about something that I've heard from this panel. There are certain occasions that we spend our time looking for kindness or charity from the governments in order to solve our political problems. Yes, we recognize the youth potentials and the actual structure that we may use the actual technology in order to harmonize the society. Yes, we are spending our resources in something very difficult, very complex. And my second reflection is how to close how to bridge this gap in all the regions of the country and a position of institutionalization. I think this region from the world, the institutionalization is very weak, and the diversity of regions, the lack of participation and decision making, and this process is very weak. That puts us far away at the moment of taking the decision. And my third reflection is a comparison. In the case of Colombia, we have a question about what we are working here in this forum and the region. What is the common thing? What is the common thing between the different wars that we are witnessing in order to exchange ideas about the wars, and what we may find that all the wars have something in common and the same manifestations. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Kimber, Pia, Muhammad, and the rest of the team for giving me this chance of meeting all these wonderful people around. And it was great to see all this big picture about investing in young children for peaceful societies, putting it all together. I would suggest now to go into more thematic and dig deep into the elements of what we have done during the last 2 days. Being thematic and go and dig deep into that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. What? Okay, we'll end with Rima here. Oh, 7 minutes for the total thing. Yes. So I'll start.
Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to meet all of you. But Dr. Abu Nimer, you mentioned in the beginning that one of the objectives is to link between youth and early childhood development. I don't think we got this. I think we have to work more on that link, globally and of course in the region. I don't think they got, the importance of it. So we have to work more on this. And I think also to build more bridges between academia and also the policymakers, and also how to achieve the goals. I think we need to work more on this also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I think we will close. That's a half finger or full finger? Okay, one word.
No, one sentence. I just want to thank everyone that worked on this amazing workshop. For me, because they gave the youth the opportunity to talk and be engaged, because I heard from them yesterday. We usually get invited to a lot of different forums or workshops, but yesterday I heard from them and they said, we love it. We took a lot. And that's the first time really that I hear something like that from them. Not only them, but from all the youth so thank you for that. And just to follow up on what you said, I think there is a huge link, and I think having those young people here and talking about their experiences when they were young children, now they are youth in Jordan, is an amazing link. And I think, as you said, we need to build on that. And the last point is that in Jordan, although Jordan is a very small country compared to a lot of the countries that you come from, we have a lot of good things happening. But the problem is that we need to link them. We need to work and to scale up some of the good practices that are happening in Jordan or in the region. So Jordan could be one of the things that be one of the countries that has really good lessons that we can all benefit from, but also scale it up across. So thank you.
Thank you. There is enormous amount of work that goes into such an event, although it seems very short, a day and a half or 2 days. However, there's so many people to thank and so many people to appreciate and organization to acknowledge. And I am usually known not good in doing that. In my organization, they don't give me that. But the default between the two of us, that I got this portion. So forgive me if I leave anyone out, individual or an institution. I will list them, starting with the UNICEF local staff.